Deep inside the emerald jungle, where tall trees touched the clouds and golden sunlight danced between the leaves, lived a young tiger named Ravi. He was only 2 years old, with bright orange fur, black stripes, and curious green eyes. Ravi loved exploring the jungle. Every morning, he followed colorful butterflies, watched monkeys swing from branches, and listened to the cheerful songs of birds. But there was one thing Ravi was afraid of: crossing the wide Silver River. The river was not very deep, but the water moved quickly over smooth rocks. Whenever Ravi reached the riverbank, he stopped. "I'm not brave enough," he whispered. His mother, Tara, often told him, "Being brave does not mean you are never afraid, Ravi. Being brave means you try to do the right thing even when you are scared." Ravi remembered her words, but he still stayed away from the river. One sunny morning, Ravi was playing near a group of young deer when he heard a frightened cry. "Help! Somebody help!" Ravi looked toward the river. A tiny monkey named Miko had slipped from a low tree branch and fallen onto a small rock in the middle of the rushing water. Miko was too frightened to move. Several animals gathered along the riverbank. "Someone must help him," cried a deer. "But the water is too fast," said a wild boar. Ravi looked at Miko. The little monkey was trembling. "Please help me," Miko shouted. Ravi's heart began to beat quickly. He was scared of the river, but he knew Miko needed help. He took one step toward the water. Then another. The river splashed around his paws. "I can do this," Ravi whispered. Slowly, Ravi stepped onto the first rock. It was slippery, and he nearly fell. "Be careful," shouted the deer. Ravi stopped and took a deep breath. He remembered his mother's words. He moved carefully from one rock to another. Finally, he reached Miko. "Hold onto my back," Ravi said. Miko climbed onto Ravi's back and held tightly to his fur. Ravi began walking back. Suddenly, a strong wave rushed between the rocks. Ravi lost his balance and fell into the shallow water. "Ravi!" Miko cried. Ravi quickly stood up. Water streamed from his fur, but he did not give up. He looked at the riverbank and took another careful step. One rock. Then another. Finally, Ravi and Miko reached the riverbank. All the animals cheered. "You did it!" shouted the deer. "You saved me!" Miko hugged Ravi. Ravi looked at the river. It was still rushing, and he was still a little afraid. But now he understood something important. Courage was not about having no fear. Courage was about not allowing fear to stop you from helping someone. That evening, Ravi returned home. His mother was waiting near their cave. "I heard what happened," Tara said with a proud smile. Ravi lowered his head shyly. "I was scared, Mom." "I know," Tara replied. "But I helped Miko anyway." Tara gently touched her nose to his. "That is what makes you brave." From that day forward, Ravi became known throughout the jungle as the young tiger with the biggest heart. He still respected the Silver River. He never crossed it carelessly, and he always remembered to be cautious. But whenever fear whispered, "You cannot do it," Ravi remembered the day he helped Miko. And he would smile and answer, "I may be afraid, but I can still be brave." As the moon rose above the emerald jungle, Ravi curled up beside his mother and listened to the peaceful sounds of the forest. The little tiger had learned that day that true strength does not come from sharp claws or powerful muscles. True strength comes from courage, kindness, and a heart willing to help others.